Why was I locked up?
Yeah, the title of Wednesday, that program was Free Imam Musa Movement.
Oh yeah, free Imam Musa.
Brother was asking,
Right, right,
like either Thursday or
right.
Friday, he was asking, why is Imam locked up?
No, free Imam Musa movement is like a free, not free, but a free anybody movement. And to tell you the truth, has anybody been watching TV? What's the white lady that's been, they done took all of her money, they control all of, Britney Spears. Britney Spears, they got a free Britney Spears movement, right? And she's getting ready to win because long as they kept it in the dark, right? And them white folks is out there. And then I looked at the program and I said, man, that is cold. They're sending that girl to work in Vegas and everywhere. Don't let her spend no money. Don't let. So they have a free Britney movement, free Britney Spears. So I was thinking, well, free Imam Musa movement, not like free Huey and all that. But that's almost like a joke that like they're stealing our property and they're doing all of this stuff and they putting me in jail on so it's just like free Imam Musa. It's just a joke. So it's just a joke. I was thinking of the title, Free Imam Musa. But it's not free Imam Musa, it's free up a large section of the world. This is global. We have to recognize that it's a global movement. In answer to one thing, I mentioned something overseas. I mentioned about China. I did a little research on what they're doing in Africa and all other stuff. They got to get their hearts together. The China that I knew 50 years ago that worked on the Trans Am Railroad and they came and did all that good work and went back to China. Now they staying in Africa and they running the whole show. The Africans don't run nothing. So they got to go back home. They got to go back home. They produce something and the African work at his own pace. So they got to go back home voluntarily or they'll be facing a new colonialism. No, what I mean is the Africans will rise, because they're already discussing it, to rise up and throw the Chinese out. It's not hard to, they're easy to recognize as white folks. No, it's bad. It's bad news. It's bad news. And I was, and I still am the pro-Chinese. But the old Sherman Maoist, those people that see when you broke like just a little broker, and when you've been oppressed, and you can still taste it. You help people along those lines that we're just right here with you, just a little above. We're gonna, and you help them. They used to charge the Chinese the Africans 1 or 2% interest on whatever they did. That was just because they got to do the paperwork and they got 1 or 2%. I think it was 1%. So technically it was free. They wasn't charging you nothing. But they got a little transportation, they got a little this, that, and whatever they did, it was yours. They didn't leave no hook in there where you now. But see, history, from my research, there's so many Africans talking about it and hurting, and so many The Chinese over there can produce certain things, and it put all the Africans out of business, which can't compete with that. Well, it's the same as the Europeans. If you do the same thing white folks do, just don't worry. You'll get the same thing. And the attitude of the Chinese in Africa is different from the Chinamen when I was there. Different, altogether different. So all the world is working and heading in a certain direction. Now we here, we're prepared to cooperate with people in good, but hold it, you can't do that. You got to straighten that up. That's our position on that whole continental thing. And you shouldn't do that. Why are you doing that when Allah done hooked you up and fixed you up? And you can't give all the credit to your party. There's some divine thing that's sparked that caused it to, well, we did this. I say, the white man tried to cheat you, and you beat him at the cheat. And that's what made you big. And now he's mad because you haven't become white and you still Chinaman. That's his whole, he's mad at that. We're going to send you to business. Oh, they going to strike on us over here. The deindustrialization of America, starting in the 1980s. What does that mean? They deindustrialize all them factories and smokeouts and burnouts in Cleveland and everywhere. This is because they sent all them factories to China. And China hooked it up, say, yeah, you can't send a factory without sending the technology, how to do it. You can't do like South America. They send prefixed cars and stuff down there for them. They call it assemblea, to assemble. You ask a guy that Chevy come from the U.S., it's no assemblea in Colombia. It's assembled. They send all the parts down there, and they assemble them in Colombia. So Colombia don't know how to make no Chevy. But everything they did in China, the Chinamans know how to do it. And then the Chinamans did a little stealing too. Oh, property rights, they ain't paid no attention. Remember all the movies I used to have? They just stopped that last week. I that a little longer than that. All them movies, the good ones, I used to buy from Tony. I don't know, ain't no Chinaman named Tony, you know. And I used to talk to Tony about deep stuff. You know, sometimes we talk about the Japan and China and all that. And I said, man, the Japanese should do this. He said, they won't do it. And he's supposed to be a video seller. He's the most brilliant video seller. He's a Chinese agent, and I knew it, in America. Going through all the wash houses and everywhere. They know what the Americans are doing. They know what black America is doing. They know, because they got agents over here on every level. You think they just spy on, the Chinamen spy on everybody. The Negroes, the white folks, the Mexicans, they got Chinese-speaking, Mexican-speaking, Spanish-speaking Chinamans, and they got the Chinamans down in South America. So the Chinese are going to have to go back to being good Chinamans. Yeah, they're going to have to go back. And we're going to push that. You got to go back. You don't want to be, you about 2 steps away from being boss man. You don't want to be him. Because you know what happened to boss man throughout history? Boss man get dumped. And he don't never think he going to get dumped. Boy, I'm the smartest man in the world. I do this, I do that, right? So if you do it, the same thing happened to you. Okay, didn't mean to take so long. Is there any more comments or questions?
That was it. That was all.
Okay. Are any questions from amongst us?
It was a good lecture.
No, alhamdulillah. So it made sense. Right. That's what I wanted to do. It's not like I'm saying it's just, oh, you know, you don't take no sense to see that we don't, whoever we are, we don't have a whole lot of time to get this done. And forget just letting it go for, if you got children any young age, you can't say they're going to be all right. If they get a degree, I'm going to send them to this school. Shoot. By the time they get, there ain't going to be no school. At the rate, it ain't going to be no money. Boss man going to be flat broke by then. And now with the new virus coming out and everybody trying to get everybody's home, they got to redo that. They got to say, well, we'll keep on giving away free money.
Right, that's what I was thinking about that just yesterday. Like, bro, they're going to have to keep on printing money.
Printing money. Money, 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 money. Huh? Yeah, but they gonna look, they got to go broke.
Right, yeah. There's a limit.
It's a limit. You don't know what that limit is.
Right. That's an unnerving part. I was thinking about that.
No, but remember it says Babylon fell in one day. It didn't mean that Babylon fell. The whole system, it took hundreds of years. But all of a sudden, bam, there it is. So remember, we don't want it to be that way. Why? Our friends, our relatives, our wives, our children's, all hooked up in this thing. And remember, I'm going to call them innocent white folks, but the white folks that are involved in this, they don't do nothing to us. They actually like niggas, most of them. They do music, nigga talk, chit chat, everything, right? This cool. You remember in the old days, there was always somebody named Cool Breeze in the neighborhood. Niggas been cool since the 50s. And white folks just been cool for the last 20 years. But they cool. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? That we have to manipulate the races to do the right thing for themselves. But this is not a racist. There's not a hint of racism in it. It's the human movement. Human, animals, everybody. And the earth, animate and inanimate. It's just something that should be done. So thank y'all very much. Ya kula kauli hadha wa astaghfirullah li wa lakum.